we're gonna do the oil change on this 2025 Kawasaki Ninja 500. So what you're going to want to do first is start the bike for about 5 minutes. That will allow the oil in the bike to become more liquid-like, especially on a day like today when it's super cold. It's about 40 degrees in Michigan today. So we're going to start that. We're going to let it run for 5 minutes, and then we'll be back. Okay, so now that your bike is properly warmed up, what you're going to need is oil. You got 10W40 Racing 4T. Last time I didn't get racing, I just got regular, but figured I need racing this time. Might as well. Get your oil filter. You're gonna need one of these because it's almost impossible to get the oil filter off without it. And you need a torque wrench with a 17mm socket. The torque wrench has to be able to go to 22 newtons of force because that is the spec on the nut for the oil cap. So we're gonna put the bike up on the stands. Now the bike looks pretty level, so we're going to take you're also going to need a pan and possibly a funnel. I don't know how you do it without a funnel. You could figure it out for sure. Okay. Now, I'm going to start by breaking the nut. That nut is right there. I'm going to get my handy dandy towel here. I'm going to want it for the nut. And we're going to take that nut off. And it's very important that you save that washer. You can replace the washer every time. This is only my second oil change, so I'm not going to. And clean out the threads there. So, while you're waiting for that to drain, you can take your filter off. So that's what we're gonna do now. All right. Oil filter out. Just gonna leave that in there. You can take your oil and your filter to AutoZone. They take that there. And now we wait until it stops dripping. So what you're gonna do, you take your oil filter, take the cap off your oil filter. It's very important that you do that. Put that back in there. Then you're going to take your oil. You're going to fill your oil cap to the brim. You're going to take the oil and put it on that O-ring right there. take that, put it all around that O-ring right there. It's gonna help it seal. Put the excess in the towel, and when you do this, make sure that the oil filter goes on easily. It should go on easily. If it does not go on easily, you've probably cross-threaded it, and that's bad. So you're gonna go all the way till it's tight. Clean it off, rub all that oil off of it. You're gonna go about 3/4 of a turn past tight. Also, every day that you ride it, you want to check to make sure that it's tight. First couple days after you put it on, just to make sure that it doesn't come loose. First time I did my oil change on this, I didn't put it on tight enough. I realized I was leaking oil on the ground. Why am I leaking oil? Well, turns out I didn't have the cap on tight enough, and it was loose. So I tightened it, and I was all good. Okay, we're gonna clean this up right there best we can. Put the nut and washer back on. Something you can do if you want is you can loosen your fill plug when you're doing your oil change, and that will help it drain a little bit faster as well. I didn't do that because I started it, so it wasn't necessary. Go till it clicks, hear the click. Now you're gonna come back over here, and we're going to take the oil cap off, which is this right here. We're gonna take our trusty handy dandy funnel. We're also gonna go inside and get, we don't need paper towels. We have our handy dandy trusty, very dirty towel. For what we need to do with it, it will do perfectly. Okay, so we're gonna clean that because I just used it to funnel out all of the oil from in there previously from my last oil change, and I took it to AutoZone. So these bikes take about 2 quarts of oil. It's about 2.1 when you also do the filter. Obviously, why would you change the oil, not the filter? Whatever. So we're gonna pour 2 full ones of these in, and then we're gonna see where the oil sits. Take our time here, make sure that we don't overfill it. And this oil should look significantly cleaner than what we had in it. We seem to be bleeding, but what's a good day of working on your bike without bleeding, right? Probably try to avoid getting oil in the bleed. Okay, so right now we are obviously way lower than we need to be. As you can see, oil level way low. So comes the second quart, and now we take a look at it. And what we want to see, right? We want this bubble to be about at the top line there, because when you start the bike, some of the oil will circulate through the engine and you'll lose a little bit of it. So we want to put a little bit more in. Obviously, 2.1 quarts is from Kawasaki what you're going to take with a new oil filter. So we're going to pour just a little bit in there. We're going to turn this on. and give it a little bit. So what we're going to do now, we're going to start it. We're going to put it back on the ground, and then we're going to check it, make sure we're good. We need to put a little bit more in, we will. But you can always put more in. It is not very easy to take it out. And would you look at that, right at that, almost to that top line, right where we want to be. Bike's not tilting one way or the other. Oil looks very clean. And we're all set and good to go. So this is my video of 2025 Ninja 500 oil change.